Are you ready for adventures in the crisscolfer tag? No, that is not crisscolfer, the person. It is crisscolfer, the terrible, horrible shit. Here we go. This, I guess, is a fic. The summary: Darren tells Chris about him meeting Daniel Radcliffe. Ooh. And he actually talked to me. He was like, "Hi, I'm Dan." And I stood there and I was going to cry. Chris, you don't understand. I was about to melt or bow to his feet or praise him. He is even more beautiful in person. Hey now. Chris talks into the phone, pressing it to his ear as he lay back on his bed. I'm already jealous that you met him. Let's not try to make your boyfriend more jealous by calling him beautiful, he adds, and Darren laughs. Darren called him first thing when he left from meeting Daniel Radcliffe. This guy was his life, his inspiration, and he was filling his shoes, taking his place on Broadway, which makes it even more unbelievable. He was fond of Dan, his accent and hair, and all of it. He just wished he could have hugged him to death. My God, is this a crisscolfer fic, or is this Dan Radcliffe? Like, what even? You need to calm down. I can't even. We shook hands. Daniel Radcliffe touched my hand and I died. Do you do that when I touch your hand? Yes, but this was a different die. This was a fanboy die. Chris groans, turning on his stomach and stuffing his face in a pillow. Someone's a bit jealous, Darren says in a sing-song voice, and Chris could almost see him smirking. Fuck you, Chris hisses, and Darren chuckles. Baby, you know I'm just a giant fanboy, right? And this is how I react to everyone I meet, he says, almost in a reassuring tone. Chris sighs. You're right. So go on. Keep going. Here, but Darren changes the subject. You know what I did when I met you, though? It was so much bigger than meeting Harry Potter. Chris rolled his eyes. What did you do? Fell in love. Oh my God. Punch me in the stomach. Good night, and here have some crisscolfer. And it is a gif of the onstage Klain kiss when you know, Darren, like, attacked him. Apparently that is not Klain, that is crisscolfer. It's crisscolfer, guys. It's not Klain at all. They were not in character at all. They were not wearing a Dalton blazer and Kurt clothes. They were definitely Darren and Chris. They weren't Kurt and Blaine. No, why would you think that? I don't mean this at all to be offensive or rude. I'm just honestly curious, but why do you ship crisscolfer? I mean, I've heard people say they're cute together and they're a lot alike and they would make each other happy. They're a lot alike. What? What world are you living in? Just wanted to hear your thoughts on the matter. This is a question, by the way. Oh God. Oh God. A long explanation. Oh, I'm so excited. The reason I ship crisscolfer personally is because, well, in my mind, they're perfect for each other. They've both been gone far from where they started, Chris being bullied and Darren just being that struggling musician that rocked out in cafes. Yeah, because you can compare being bullied every day to struggling musician. They both made so much progress, and I think that they're both strong individuals. They're both nerds, so they'd have a lot to talk about. I think that's why they have so much chemistry on screen and off screen. They have a chemistry. Okay. Not to mention the fact that they're cute as hell together. I think with Chris's subtle, witty personality and Darren's personality, I see them as a good couple. I mean, I think we can all agree that Darren isn't the straightest man alive. No? No, I don't think we can all agree to that, considering he came out as straight. Did you miss that? Did you miss that? And he even said his sexuality didn't matter. Next, it's just the way he stares at Chris, the way he talks about Chris. I think Darren has had or has feelings for Chris, either way. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Darren looks at Chris like he should look up to this guy because he's done so much already and he's younger than him. And then there's Chris, who just stutters when Darren is mentioned. Like, it's like they're both flustered teenage crushing boys. And then the other part is that my mind and they're together. What? Like, in my mind, I put together all these stories, and I just like the thought of them doing it. It's what my idea of them is, and I know they're perfect together. What? No. When Darren meets Dan. Dan, so how's your boyfriend? Darren, what? Dan, your boyfriend, crisscolfer, right? Darren, what? No, Chris isn't my boyfriend. Dan, really? Darren nods. Dan, are you sure? Darren, yeah. Oh, Dan, oh, sorry, man, I just assumed that. Nick, hey, Darren, how's the boyfriend? Who is Nick? Who is this random Nick that's just popping in? What? What? Who's Nick? Who is Nick? Also, I really don't think that Dan Rad knows anything about Darren Criss other than that he was Harry Potter once and now he's taking his leftovers roles once again, so. Snippet. Ugh, that's not even a good snippet, that's a crappy snippet. Man, the crisscolfer tag isn't as fun as the claim tag. Oh my god. Little crisscolfer things in Little White Lie, which, if you guys don't know, it was like this little web series show thing that Darren was in. Darren plays Toby Phillips, and Struck by Lightning, Chris plays Carson Phillips. There aren't words. There aren't words. Oh my god. Let's see. Okay. Baby, have you seen my hoodie? Darren asks Chris, who is settled on the couch, knees to his chest. He popped a grape in his mouth, eyes watching the television. Which one? He mutters. Darren looks in the closet in the hallway, yelling back at him, My Dalton one. What? My Dalton one? What is this? They really don't know the difference between Darren and Blaine. They don't. It's killing me. I want to punch something in the face. I do. I want to. I can't. This is horrible. Why is just random GIFs that says, thanks guys, in the crisscolfer? That doesn't even make sense at all. Let's see. Darren Criss is a straight man. Sure, Darren was flamboyant and didn't care about kissing guys for fun or for work. He could go on for hours about the fluidity of sexuality and how you fall in love with the person and not the gender. But when it all came right down to it, Darren Criss dated girls. That's why Chris was surprised when Darren asked him out. Really? You were doing so well, and then you were just like, I don't even. I can't. I'm done.